have the 20.
All right, let's dive into the 2025 version of the highest paid female athletes because the results are in and they are shaking things up. Caitlyn Clark has just officially become the highest paid WNBA player for the year. And let me tell you, the collective sound of haters and rivals grinding their teeth can be heard from coast to coast, across the entire basketball world. The financial publication Sportico just dropped their definitive list of the top 15 highest paid female athletes. And in a reveal that confirms what many suspected, Caitlyn is the only WNBA player who managed to make the cut. So, while certain other players and their vocal fan bases spent the entire year debating and arguing about who is really moving the needle for the league, the actual money, the hard dollars and cents, just stepped in and settled the argument for good. And the verdict? The money proved who actually matters to the brands in the marketplace. A staggering $16 million in total earnings puts Caitlyn not just ahead, but miles ahead of every single other WNBA player. And the envy that's generating is absolutely instantaneous and undeniable.
By the way, of the top 15 female athletes that made the list, Caitlyn Clark was the only WNBA athlete that landed on the list. So that means Angel Reese.
Let me ask you something before we get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers. Do you think Caitlyn Clark truly deserves to be the highest paid WNBA player by such a massive margin? Or should someone else in the league be making more of that money? Let me know what you think. Now, Sportico has officially released their annual list of the highest paid female athletes for 2025. And believe me, the final results are going to make a lot of people feel very, very uncomfortable. Out of the top 15 spots on this prestigious global list, only one single WNBA player made the final cut. I want to emphasize that. Not two, not three, just one dot, and you already know who it is. That player is Caitlyn Clark, sitting comfortably at the number 6 spot overall, with a jaw-dropping $16 million in total earnings. Now, let's talk about what that really means. It means that Angel Reese, the player who spent the entire season being hyped up by the media as Caitlyn's big rival, didn't even come close to cracking the top 50. That means she's officially making less than $10 million, while Caitlyn is pulling in over. I'm going to let that sink in for a moment, because that gap is absolutely massive.
Somewhere below $10 million. All right. In fact, they do tell us who is number 2 among sports-related, like actual team-oriented female athletes. Number 2 is Sabrina Ionescu. But as you can imagine,
so who else is on this list? Well, it's pretty much dominated by tennis players, which, frankly, makes a lot of sense, because the top tier of professional tennis has always paid its stars incredibly well. Coco Gauff leads the charge for all female athletes with an incredible $31 million in earnings. Right on her heels is Aryna Sabalenka, who is just behind her with an impressive $30 million. And, of course, you have legends and superstars like Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams, along with a handful of other tennis stars, rounding out those top spots. The list also features a couple of golfers, which again proves that, for women, individual sports still tend to pay significantly better than team sports. But here's the kicker, and this is the most important part. Among all team sport athletes, across every single professional women's sport around the globe, Caitlyn Clark is the only one who made this list. Let's really talk about what that means for a second. There are professional women's soccer leagues all over the world. There are established women's hockey leagues. There are professional women's volleyball and softball leagues. Yet, none of the top athletes from any of those sports made the top. The single highest paid team sport athlete in the entire world, among all women, is a WNBA player, and her name is Caitlyn Clark. That isn't just impressive for the WNBA. That is a historically significant moment for women's team sports in general. It's truly pretty amazing when you stop and think about the implications.
Because almost all of Caitlyn Clark's money is from endorsements, because she's not making hardly anything as a WNBA.
Now, here's the really wild part when you dig into Caitlyn's $16 million number and see exactly where it comes from. Her official WNBA salary for the year was only $119,000. Let me repeat that because it's absolutely crucial to understanding the full picture. Out of a massive $16 million in total earnings, a tiny fraction, just $119,000, came from the league for actually playing the game of basketball. Everything else, a colossal $15.8 million, came directly from endorsements. What that means is that Caitlyn Clark is making more money off the court from her brand deals than almost every other female athlete in the entire world is making in total earnings. Her endorsement value alone is so powerful that it would place her squarely in the top 10 female athletes globally. Now, let's compare that hard financial reality to the narrative that certain people and media outlets have been aggressively pushing all year long. We've been told, over and over again, that other players are just as valuable to the league as Caitlyn. We've been told that the unprecedented attention she gets is overblown and unfair. We've been repeatedly told that multiple players deserve equal credit for growing the WNBA, but here's the thing. When actual corporations, with actual nine-figure marketing budgets, have to make decisions about who to invest in, they are choosing Caitlyn by a margin that can only be described as a landslide. A $16 million valuation versus someone making less than $10 million isn't even close. That's not a competition. That's straight-up domination.
List is up from 6.7 million last year, so it was almost a $4 million raise among all these athletes to break the minimum. So let's just go down here. Here's Caitlyn Clark right there, and you see that $16 million. So she came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th among all female athletes. 16 million. She's the only one on here from a team-oriented sport.
Let's just look at this ridiculous list of endorsements, because almost all of her income is from this. First up, Nike gave her a massive signature shoe deal that is set to launch in 2026, making her only the third active WNBA player to get her own signature sneaker, putting her in an exclusive club alongside A.L. Wilson and Sabrina Ionco. On top of that, she's got major deals with Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Panini America for trading cards, and about a dozen other major national brands. And we're not talking about small local car dealership deals here. These are national and international partnerships with corporations that spend millions upon millions on their athlete endorsements. They're choosing Caitlyn over everyone else for one simple reason. She moves product and generates attention in ways that other WNBA players simply do not. And the numbers prove it. The salt coming from people who desperately wanted Angel Reese to be on this list instead is just absolutely delicious. All season long, we heard about how Angel was just as popular, how she was driving just as much interest, how she deserved equal recognition. But Sportico's list doesn't care about Twitter narratives or manufactured media hype. It cares about one thing: actual money earned. And by that cold, hard measure, Angel isn't even in the same conversation. She's not even second plate. The second highest paid WNBA player is Sabrina Ionco, who just barely missed the top 15, coming in somewhere around the $10 million mark. Angel Reese is somewhere below that. Think about how much Caitlyn has separated herself from the entire pack in just 1 year of full-scale endorsement deals. Last year, she made $11 million. This year, she made $16 million. That's a $5 million increase year over year. Companies aren't just signing her to a flat deal. They're actively increasing their investment because she is delivering massive results. Meanwhile, other players are fighting just to crack the $10 million total mark, while Caitlyn is already approaching $20 million territory. That Nike signature shoe is especially significant. Nike, the biggest sports brand on the planet, does not just hand out signature shoes to anyone. You have to be a transcendent talent with huge marketability and a proven ability to sell products. In the entire WNBA, only 3 players currently have that honor. And Caitlyn is the newest member of that ultra-exclusive club. That's Nike telling the world that Caitlyn Clark is one of their most marketable athletes, period. Not just in the WNBA, but among all of their athletes. The State Farm commercials featuring Caitlyn have been everywhere. The Gatorade campaigns have been prominent. The Wilson basketball that features her name sold out every single time new stock was made available. These aren't products sitting on shelves collecting dust. These are items that consumers are actively hunting for because Caitlyn Clark's name is on them. That is real, measurable market value, and it's precisely why she's making $16 million while others make a fraction of that. What makes this so entertaining is how it completely obliterates the narrative that certain media members and fans were pushed. We were told that focusing on Caitlyn diminishes other players. We were told it's problematic to give her this much credit. But companies spending real money don't care about those feelings. They care about return on investment, and their investment in Caitlyn dwarfs what they're spending on anyone else. The fact that she's the only team sport athlete on the entire list is insane. Think about it. Women's soccer is huge globally. Stars like Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe have been household names for years. None of them made the top. Caitlyn, in her second year, is out-earning them all. That is historic. The comparison to Simone Biles, who made $11 million, is also telling. Biles is an all-time great with transcendent appeal. Caitlyn is making $5 million more than her while playing in a league most people ignored until last year. That shows how meteoric her rise has been. The comparison to Sabrina Ionco in the massive New York market also proves a point. Market size doesn't matter when one player is a market unto herself. A.L. Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, also isn't on the list, proving that endorsement money follows marketability, not just on-court staff. And for Angel Reese's fans, this has to be a tough pill to swallow. The $6 million-plus gap between her and Caitlyn is the market screaming that one player is significantly more valuable than the other, and when you look at the breakdown again, $119,000 in salary versus $15.80, $8 million in endorsements. It's clear the WNBA is getting the deal of a lifetime, benefiting from her brand while paying her a fraction of her market worth. Her value is only growing from $11 million last year to $16 million this year. And it shows she's building a sustainable empire. The haters who spent all year trying to tear her down are going to have a really hard time explaining away these numbers. You can argue stats, but you can't argue with $16 million. The market has spoken, and it's saying Caitlyn Clark is in a league of her own. Her story is just getting started. In 5 years from now, she could easily be making $30 million a year, putting her in the conversation of the highest-paid female athletes of all time. And it's all happening right now. Caitlyn Clark is the highest-paid WNBA player in 2025 by a massive margin, and the only one to crack the top 15 globally. The money just proved who truly moves the needle. $16 million doesn't lie. Hit that like button if you think she deserves every single penny, and subscribe for more real talk about who actually matters in the world of